Hey, guys, what are we doing here?
Hey, if I had my car on here, this man pulled in yesterday. So what's the difference? And you went over and talked to him?
Get.
Oh, he's better than everybody else, right?
Get.
I got you, bud.
Hey, get these guys out of here.
The rule says.
It's opening night.
Ain't even got him out. Morning, Brandon. Morning, brother. Ooh. I think all that dust came out of my, when I hit them railroad tracks, man, it was bad. Airborne, truck and trailer. Phew. Blew the lights right out of my trailer. All the fluorescents inside, they were laying on down inside the car, smashed all the hell.
Well, let's get it going, boys. The car we've been hearing about all weekend.
Oh, this one started dumping oil out of the cylinder.
Oh, jeez.
I think it's a lane stuck or something. Hang on.
Nope, this one.
There you go. Okay, hood's light.
Yeah.
Don't wait on it.
The hood's not part of your 8,500 pounds, huh?
No.
All right, Brian, you ready? All right, Pete, what option did you choose for your bumper bracket?
14-inch.
It's a 14-inch. So remove factory shock in our bracket and replace with a flat
Yeah,
plate.
3/8 plate. Yeah.
Your plate's not flat.
No, it's that ain't what we had. We talked about that. And read the rest of it.
Wow. What do you want? Look at. You tell me what you want me to read, but
No, everybody said we can have contoured plates.
on everything else except the front plate,
Remove factory
because the front
shock and
plate says
brackets.
flat.
Replace with a flat plate welded to the top of the frame only. Contoured plates are allowed. Where can't you see that?
Okay.
I wouldn't have done it if it
I
didn't
was
say
like,
it.
oh God, here we go.
No.
Here we go.
No, I knew it said it.
Contoured plates are allowed, but cannot extend. Yeah, okay, you got it. So we just got to measure the floor.
Don't scare me.
No, I was just like,
Don't
man,
scare
it
me right off the
clearly
bat,
says
buddy.
flat plate here, Pete.
Did you get you some white gloves or anything special? Or
No.
just gonna whoop on them?
Do my best.
I didn't get my poker chip or something.
Back here at the table.
I don't think they're fully welded, are they?
No, you get 10 inches of weld per fender.
Oh, okay.
So
And he's got some in here, by the way.
That's the inner fender well that you're allowed. You're allowed so much in an inner fender well too.
those are distinct. Those are spelled out differently. Well, you're allowed 5. Yeah, you're allowed. Yep.
You might have to get this rule set.
Nope. Nope.
Your rule one.
There's two different rules on that. So when I was back, and if you read it and the way it's placed, that's the only mistake in all the rules. You're only allowed 6 inches. If you got to read it, you got to get it out and actually read it. The only rule, if I went double bars, I could only be 6 inches. If I went a single bar, because when I ran my wagon, I ran this all the way up through, and I stitch welded it. The whole, like around this plate would be 12 inches. I stitch welded it. But that wagon rule, the way it's wrote on the roof and the way it says, but this is wrote different, so you can only go 6 inches. But it's different when you get down here. Down here, it says you're allowed onto, back towards the rear bumper. Like if you got to read it, and I'm telling you, I'd never done it if I didn't have what this was just a deterrence for people in the around, but the actual bar goes down, goes in, and goes back and hits the back bumper.
So it says 2 inch by 2 inch by 1/4 inch wall tubing in the front and rear windows. 1 tube per window. The tube in the back window can only attach 6 inches onto the roof and 6 inches onto the trunk lid. It must be sheet metal mount only. The
Does it
6
say
inches,
onto?
It says on. It says on trunk lid.
On trunk lid.
Yeah.
Not onto. This is onto.
Yeah.
This says on.
On trunk lid. Yeah.
I knew he had that.
So
in
it
there.
says inches, 6 inches onto roof,
Right.
which would be beginning of the roof, you know, onto, and then it says on trunk lid, and be sheet metal mount only. The 6 inches on the trunk lid must start at the trunk seam by the speaker deck and run back towards the rear bumper.
But now you read your other ones. The other ones read the same as this.
Yeah, but
Onto.
it's a lot to go that way. So basically, that rule is basically saying you can run that down. You can't run it this way. Or
This
that way.
I got to get rid of. I understand that.
But you would have, and that rule would be you can't run this and then go this way.
Correct.
It can go this way.
It says
It's 6
towards-
inches.
Which way is he going?
Towards the rear bumper.
Going here, and then he has this one coming all the way to the bumper.
Yep. Onto and towards rear bumper. It tells you.
Yeah. So it's 2 by 2, right?
Yep.
So this would have to go.
Yes.
If this continues down through here, right?
Right.
To be one continuous piece. This you can't have two pieces.
You need
of
to
2
read
by
the
2.
other rules so it clarifies what I'm saying. Because if you read the other ones all read this.
So we
onto.
We had
This don't say
conversation,
onto.
a lengthy conversation.
This don't
The
say
guy,
onto.
a lot of the guys have beat this rule because of what Pete's saying. They just haven't went as far. I haven't looked at this, so I assume you.
Just a piece of
it's
2 by 2.
going to the back,
Yeah.
but it's only. So what we got to do is make sure it's not attached to this bumper. It's not. It's not going through.
It's welded to the bumper.
Well, it can't be attached to the bumper because it clearly says trunk lid.
Did I weld that to the bumper or just the plate welded?
Right here, you can see it.
I don't remember because it's been so long.
All that welding.
That weld you see in there, Brandon, is when you look up underneath, that's all my 1-inch nuts that I'm allowed with my washers. So that's what I use because your nuts and washers are allowed to be welded. So if you look under the rail right here, you'll see my nuts and my washers.
Did you ever stop? Did you ever stop?
It went through it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it
you
should
can
be all
see the layers.
sheet metal.
2 layers. You can count layers right there.
Yeah, it's all the sheet metal. Every bit of it. There's nothing added. Be stupid to add anything in there. But then that weld they're seeing in there is all my nuts and washers.
Not
Yeah.
on the frame.
Yeah. So the frames are welded, because the nuts and washers can be welded. Don't just say frame, body, whatever. So when I laid them in there, it attached the body to the frame, plus on the frame. That's what that weld you see in there.
Pete, how you feeling so far?
Good, good, good. Everything's good?
So far,
I'm not worried.
Pete is a guy where you're gonna have to get the rules out about 30 times, and he's probably called on most of the stuff too.
Did it
So
come out? Yeah, it come out.
he probably has a reason why he did what he did.
Oh,
That
I know.
doesn't mean we
I
don't
know
do
I'm not out of bounds on anything, by no means.
That's what they all say.
If you don't overbuild a little bit, you're just not competing.
So Pete,
Yeah.
come on over here.
Okay.
So as you count these layers,
Yep.
they get thicker. There's a thin layer, which is sheet metal for sure. We know that on the outside. But then they get thicker. There's 2 or 3 layers in there, and they're thicker.
It's all what's down in here,
Okay, so
from here all the way up and in.
Where's the tape? So we know the quarter hangs down. So first off, how many layers you count there? I count 1,
I think there's 6,
4,
7.
5, 6, 7, maybe 8. but
I
we
think
know
there's
7.
7.
Okay. So we know they're at least rolled to that. Okay, 3 inches. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or 2.5, I think is what I originally started.
We'll just say 2.
Yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Say that quarter hangs down that far.
You got the inside too. You got this level and then this level. So you got to double this.
Well, the difference that I'm seeing is like these braces are thicker than normal sheet metal, like as you can see right here.
Yep.
But all like there's 2 or 3 layers in there
This
that's
one,
thicker
this
than this.
this inside one. See it here? That's thicker than the floor pan. And I don't know why, if they do that for spare tire.
But it's clean too. Like I know it's clean because you drilled it, obviously for.
And nothing's welded. Like usually I plug
I don't
weld
see
all
that.
this.
I mean, I'm just seeing what Brandon's seeing, and I'm seeing multiple layers.
It's just all sheet metal.
I know that for a fact. No.
Is this welded? We determined that? Okay,
Yeah.
so that needs cut.
Yep.
And then what is this, Pete?
That's
Oh,
one of
that's
my
your
bumper,
bumper
strap.
strap.
There's
Okay.
one here. There's
So
one
he's-
here.
He's good there. It's not
Yeah,
the bumper
there's
strap.
6 bumper
it's
straps.
the 2x2 underneath. And then this needs cut too. This top 2x2. Oh, the lift lifts it. That's always good. Pete always brings something to compete. And whether he's in the competition set or not, we've been hearing about it all weekend. That it's a badass car. So
What makes it so badass?
the builder, they don't come factory like this. Hey Pete, walk through this front suspension.
Okay.
All right, explain to me what's what here.
What do you want to know? Like basic. This is our 4x4 we're allowed to the bottom of the frame. Here's the seam on the frame. This is the bottom of the frame.
Okay, so you chose your option. You chose the hydro steer option.
I think that's in steering. That's different.
Aftermarket bolt-on cradle.
That's this, yeah. I use the factory bolts. I don't know if you're supposed to, or I see some that didn't have factory in them.
So
But
this is the aftermarket bolt-on cradle. With
no. It's you're allowed. This is the cradle with this. You make your own. Your homemade bolt-on cradle is what it says. We got 3 options. Yeah.
It must be centered on bosses.
He was holding it wrong.
Right there.
Yeah. He was holding it on this. See what he's doing? He was like this. That's the weld for the down leg, and this is the weld for the hump plate.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. So you get.
Hey Pete,
Yes, sir.
so on the bottom,
Yep.
it says it cannot extend any more than 2 inches from the factory hole. Okay, you're
No,
about
it's this factory bolt.
well, even if we're at bolt, it's still more than 2 inches.
From here to there.
Yeah, check it out. And you're at like 2.5
It's right there at 2 inches.
to the washer.
That comes factory.
That's all part of it.
When you buy that bolt, it comes with a washer. That's the way I look
Got
at
it.
it.
That's the bolt head, the washer's underneath.
But when you buy it, it comes together. Is that what it says?
What's exactly saying?
Not extend any more than 2 inches from the factory bosses in any direction.
So there's
Cannot
the
be
edge.
welded to the frame anywhere. So this is not supposed to be welded.
No. Well, it can be.
Using your A-arm strap, and this piece that's allowed to be welded, but this can't be welded, correct?
Correct.
No
so
way
you're
around.
yeah, so this is your 1/2 inch here, so I get
Right.
that.
So that's from the edge.
That's not welded there.
That's,
Is it? It's right there.
it's right there.
Okay. All right. Single piece of 4x4 inch by 1/4 inch box tubing per side can be welded from the bottom of the frame to the A-arm
Right.
to achieve spacing.
Right.
So
And my question to you was, as I said, on an 03, my seam ain't on the top and it ain't on the bottom. I said, our seams are on the sides. So anything from here down and under and up to the other side, wherever it is, like right here.
That's right.
This
That's
is my
what-
bottom of my
I
frame.
knew we had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've identified that. I remember that now. I was like, man, there's
Well,
something.
you've looked at 1,000 things.
Yeah, so this, he's calling this the bottom of the frame, because if this is a true seam, then there's a top and there's a bottom. So there's where he beats it, right?
How the hell?
Hold on a second, Brandon. I'll be back there. Hey, this next thing. Okay, so we got that.
Yep.
What's this plate?
That's part of my kingpins. The whole kingpin setup. Because there's no size requirement on the kingpin. We talked about that. That's all part of my whole kingpin setup. Because I asked you and you said just don't get crazy with it, so I kept it within. Because I could have got real wild with it, and I just kept it within a minimum dimension. There was no dimension. That's what you had told me on the phone, so I just kept it all within that.
But isn't this like, well, it's not considered an A-arm strap.
No.
because
It's not on the A-arm.
Yeah, it's not on the A-arm at all.
Well, on this side it is.
Oh, it might be touching.
Yeah, so I'm
I mean, I can cut that loose.
I'm struggling to understand how this plate became a thing. Like, I know that you say it's part of your kingpin setup, but
Yeah.
we didn't make you choose a kingpin setup. But where in the rules does it come that you
There
like?
is no rules for kingpins. That's the problem. We talked about that.
I know that. Well, you just made them.
No, I know. I understand that. We talked about that. We talked about that.
But
4 years of not having rules changed, and then all of a sudden,
we're gonna have rule change, but
and I'm all right with that. It is what it is.
But I'm just wondering, like,
I've never seen other guys' kingpin setups because I don't look at other guys' cars, and I knew kingpins ran. So, and I know that one I built when I bet on what's his name's Imperial that time. It was that big.
Tanner.
Is
Voyers.
it any different than a ball joint protector?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I just don't know what we can call that. Like, I don't know.
It's just part of the kingpin setup.
I mean, I can't. And there's no rule on it.
So,
I mean, is it any different than a ball joint protector? Is it? Like I'm just asking the question out loud.
No, that's literally what it could be. I mean, there's got to be something in there that it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just have a random plate.
ball joint protector. Cut, Brandon. Just get rid of it.
There ain't no reason to leave it there.
It's 2 by 2 by 3.
Okay, so if you take that and you cut it and you open it up, what is it still the same?
No, I can give you that. I mean,
I don't even know what
if
size
it's clear. If it's clearly given 2 by 2 by 3, 'cause I mean, it can't just be like a random thing. Okay, there's got to be. You've got so much going on here that
It just
gotta be
makes
called
everybody
something.
look, yeah.
It's got to be called something. Okay, so
I just personally myself call it part of my kingpin setup because this is my spacer and everything from here to here to here is all part of my kingpin setup.
And that's what I'm calling it. That's what I want. That's what my brain.
You know, when I read the rule and there's nothing on the kingpin, nothing pertaining to the kingpin, nothing,
And I kept it within
that 4-inch width, you know, for the most part. I mean, a little bit over here or there, but it's all within that realms and nothing touches the frame of the car. I didn't think there'd be ever an issue with any of that stuff. Because what supports the whole car is this right here. You know, this is what supports the whole car. This don't do nothing, just hold on. You know, this is what supports the whole ride of the car. And it ain't threaded in like a ball joint or anything like that. It's just smooth.
it's 3/8 for one.
What's that?
This plate's 3/8.
Yeah, because there's nothing there.
It says, well, but
You
here.
tell me what you want to do. You want me to put an X in it? You want me to-
I mean, I just want you. I think you have to cut it down to size, a 2 by 3, a 2 by 2 by 3.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to, you know, you're not gonna be able to weld all the way out here. You're gonna have to cut this off or something.
or come back here and go 3
yeah,
inch.
do something, but you're gonna have to be 2 by 2 by 3.
There was no size requirements on this. So my question would be, this is 2 by 2 by 3. Well, if you measure a piece of 2 by 2, 2 inch, 2 inch, 2 inch, 2 inch, that's 8 inches, right? And 3 inches long.
So if I'm 3 inches and I can have total of 8 inches,
If I take my 2 by 2 by 3 and just cut all 4 corners and just stack it up and call that my 2 by 2 by 3. It was started out as a 2 by 2 by 3. It didn't say it could manipulate it. Could I do that? Could I take a 2 by 2? I got 2 by 2 over there and cut all 4 corners and just stack it up and weld it all on there. And then I'd be an inch thick, right?
I mean, You can do that, or you can technically probably cut less of this 3/8 plate. I don't know exactly what the measurements are, but what I can tell you is optics are everything.
Right. Yeah. So, well, no, I'll trim it down.
We're not going to say, hey, look, Pete, you need to be 2.18.
No, I'll trim them
you know
down.
What I'm saying? But
if clearly there's not a rule on it, but I definitely can trim it down.
Okay.
I mean, it's not on the frame of the car, so.
That's on the upper.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, what are we doing here?
Hey, if I had my car on here, this man pulled in yesterday. So what's the difference? And you went over and talked to him?
Get.
Oh, he's better than everybody else, right?
Get.
I got you, bud.
Hey, get these guys out of here.
Rule says.
Troy, drivers to car only. Get that done. One driver to a car, everybody else is out.
What was his complaint about?
He said, was he here before you or something?
I have no idea.
You came in and drove in and drove up here.
I was at 9 o'clock inspection. I was here at 9 o'clock.
Where's Troy at? Where's Troy? Hey, Cam. Only driver. There's only a driver in here. So whoever's on the golf cart to the left, there's literally only driver.
I have no idea.
I had to reverse, Pete.
Well, there's 7 layers in there because
It's the bottom, and
you know when it drops down,
I take all that
and I fold it all, and then I push it all in. But then they tried to play the card on me about doubling. I said, go look at the raffle car. It's folded over and doubled. Every car here is doubled. They all are. They all are. I mean, that's been the industry standard for years.
Well, when I get ready to get inspected, I'll call you.
I think
we're about done.
What they say about your steering? You good with all that?
They gotta make me trim a little,
and I don't understand it. I'm a little twisted on it because there's no rule on kingpins, period.
Hey, Pete. Your sway bar, okay?
Yes, sir.
It says sway bars may be welded to the bottom of the frame with a piece of 2x4 by 2 inches long tube. The tube may be welded as well as the sway bar to the tube. So you get 4 inches.
Well, the way that reads is it
about.
says the sway bar can be welded to the bottom of the frame, plus this can be welded to the bottom of the frame. Is how that's a tricky one because if 10 different guys read it 10 different ways, there's no truth because
let me read it again. And us 3 right here. Okay, so sway bars must be located in factory location, but may be bent down and bolted to the lower A arm with a 5/8 bolt. Sway bars may be welded to the bottom of the frame with a piece of 2x4 by 2 inch long tube.
Okay, but factory location.
So where's the factory location?
It's
It's
about right.
It's
here.
right in there.
And it says bend down, not forward and then down. It does say bend down. You did read that. which I
this
didn't
is
catch.
down.
that's the way I looked at it.
Sway bars
See
must
the
be
gap.
located in factory location, but may, it says may. So may gives an option. May be bent down and bolted to the lower A arm. Sway bars may be welded to the bottom of the frame with a piece of 2x4 by
So it does
2
say
inch long
maybe
tube.
welded with a
May.
2x4.
It may be welded.
It's all mays. There's no
The
direct.
tube may be welded as well as the sway bar to the tube.
That's where
So-
it come in the last play of it. It contradicts itself as it goes down the road.
Yeah, the maze, we got to take the maze out of there. So it should,
We
it should
got at least some weld, right? 4 inches.
well,
However he breaks that up.
No, because it says it may, and then this can be welded. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could have
but
brought
it says it may be welded as well as the sway bar. So the
Both can
tube
be welded.
may be welded, but as the sway bar to the tube. So we're going to give you the weld to the tube, but I'm not seeing the weld to the frame. Like I don't see where
It's there. I mean, you can read it 10 times, and you just read it, but let somebody else read it to you. Brandon, read that to him.
right here. Start right here.
I honestly got more cut than I thought of.
I really did. I thought I had everything right to the tube, but I knew them little brackets there were the only question. I still thought this was okay, but because you're allowed 3 inches, this is a square body. you're allowed your door plate, and then you're allowed your 1/4x3. Past, and I'm through just 3 inches past the seam where the body seam is with my strapping, and it was able to connect to the rail. I don't say it can't connect to the frame, but I thought I had that beat. I had to cut that out to get in there and weld all my gusseting and stuff, so I just patched over it.
Yeah, I mean,
And it should be sheet metal thickness.
see, that's the thing. Like, that's a little bit different because that's like,
That's a safety to me.
yeah, it's not any, you know what I'm saying? And like, the old schools, like, they get the patch rust.
Just
How do you not let a guy patch that?
I don't have any issue.
you know what, you guys, if you want me to booger it up, I'll booger it up.
I painted it. I prefer to.
I'll booger it up.
Firewall. If not, you're going to get guys literally plating the whole firewall.
Yeah.
And then it's going to take.
I'm not going to cut it off because that's what, I cut this out to get in there because my gusset's in there and I welded all my gussets in cages.
Right or wrong,
Yeah, we just don't want it to go any further because we understand that you didn't.
It's a
push it.
safety issue because I welded my
But we
cage
also
through it.
don't want you to have a hole in it.
Right.
Like a big, I mean, put
That's
a hole.
your cage.
You're gonna
That's
have to
my
put a
cage,
hole in
yeah.
it.
You know what I mean when I paint it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that on? Get that on the list.
I build all that myself, you know. I don't buy it if I don't have to.
I mean, you can place it wherever you want. This is a nut.
Yeah.
You can see it.
You can
Talk
see
about it. This.
Oh, we saw it, but that's
They're nuts. They're the 7-inch McMaster-Car nuts.
Well, here's.
You can't argue it because you can buy them. Anybody can buy them any day of the week. And I didn't even weld this plate down here because I only welded to the bumper in here because that would be an infraction. When me and you talked about it, he says, Pete, it has to screw on 1-inch all thread. Well, I know there's stuff here that ain't screwing on 1-inch all thread, just so you know. Because me and you had that conversation, because it says 1
See,
inch.
I thought that you were doing big.
No,
you said,
no,
when you
standard
said
nuts.
7, I thought you were doing these.
No, 7-inch long, because that's what you can buy online. Right,
Yeah, 'cause
McMaster-Car,
we
look
had
them
that
up.
conversation.
Nothing, I can't find anything in the world more than 7 inches.
We had that conversation, but then other guys
I was
beat
going to
it.
split them, and you told me.
Can't be a nut, right?
Right.
But then other guys beat it. Like, there are some argument that somebody made beat that, which
Right.
obviously you see that. But I thought that's what you were doing too. I thought you were going to have a 7-inch freaking nut. Yeah, this.
Well, first thing I want to ask is what is there a rule on it?
Rule on what?
Any of this?
Yeah. Technically, you can't double.
You can't fold and weld sheet metal.
It's not welded only to the nuts.
Yeah. And we didn't, and I didn't
But-
see it
but
welded either. But
every car here is doubled at the bottom, even the raffle car.
yeah, but not welded. It's double.
But the
we didn't-
welding part comes into the nuts
Which
and
I'm
washers.
fine with. I
Yep.
get that. And we're not even seeing like that anything's welded.
Right.
But what we're seeing is like there's 7 layers is what we counted.
Yep, and that's
And that's
right
fine,
because
but
this
it progressively gets thicker. Now, not super thick. There's not like a 1/4 inch in there anywhere. But it looks like, to me, it's like 16 gauge to 14 gauge. And, you know, there's a difference like that. It's not like a big difference. Just be aware that when you cut that open, we're going to take a deeper look. Okay.
Well,
so
you
when
can do
order
whatever
that
you
up,
want.
We're taking
I'm not cutting it open.
No,
I'm
but
just
when you
gonna-
start opening things up, we're taking a deeper look. So I'm just making you aware when you come back through that
Right.
don't get mad at us when we start looking deeper.
You can look all you want because there's nothing there.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But
I tell you, you ask
I'm
me, I
making
tell
you
you.
aware.
It's sheet metal, and that's all.
That's fine, but it's our
So
job
we're
to
all
make sure.
Speaking the same language.
Yeah.
And
right here.
We're all good.
Look at my
Just-
daughter's right here. I swear it's sheet metal.
Just the expectations that when you come back through, we're looking.
Right, it's
Okay?
sheet metal. There's no 1/4 inch. There's no 1/8 inch. There's no in there. It's sheet metal.
All right. Is that where are we at on everything else?
I mean, if I really wanted to push the envelope, I'd have you relook the rules over on a lot of these things.
Yeah. So we'll check on one.
I mean, that's all within the rules, but I'm just going to booger it up. I'm not cutting it open. I'm just not. I won't cut it open because I got the rules all wiped up back there, and it's sheet metal.
We're taking a look. 12. So you're at 12. So he'll put
Yeah.
12 on here,
Okay.
and you'll initial it, and then you'll be good. You got to be backing through and checking. I want to check with Brandy on when you got to be back through. I think it's by 3. Okay. And the reason why it's a little much is because people don't do kingpins. Okay, so this is not normal territory for. I bet I would
Any
venture to
derby.
say a lot of people don't even know what that is. Okay, so. You know, when you venture in the new territory, which obviously
Well, and
Pete
the
has
problem,
pushed
I'll
that.
tell you, the problem is this piece here The reason why I had them, that piece ain't welded on the bottom. 'Cause I couldn't get up in
Yeah,
there
and we're
and
not
weld it.
making you not weld it. Re-weld it, but optically, like, it can't. Because here's what's happening, Brandon. We're gonna have to start defining a kingpin setup of what is what, and
Or
then
no
what's
king,
allowed.
or no kingpins and just
Or
ball
no
joints.
kingpins. Yeah.
That, or you take
That's
a
what I would
picture of
do.
that and you base it off of that.
That's what I would do.
Because that's where we're at. But I'm telling you right now, to me, to the naked eye, it
For
looks.
you in future, I wouldn't allow kingpins.
And we're not. Bristol, we're not.
Right,
remember?
right.
Yeah. So
Right,
because
this is the only show. That's why I'm confused at why I got to trim anything. But I get it. I understand it.
Just
And that's the only thing on the whole car I'd probably argue is that lower plate, because that's my strap, and nowhere in there says it has to be body only. It just says 3 inches.
I know, but like I get that's what it says, but it's kind of
Just all manipulating the rule. They're pretty tough. I had to cut more stuff than I thought I'd have to cut for sure.
Anything stressing you out? Any big changes you gotta make?
Nothing major. A couple little things that I feel I beat the rule, but they said no, and we back and forth a little bit. And it's demolition derby. That's how it works. You know, it's your thoughts and their thoughts, and you try to come together. But truly, these guys are pretty good. They work with you. They listen to you. You argue just like going to court. And if you win, you win. You lose, you lose. Some of it I got, and some of it I've lost. So now I just got to figure out how to rework it so it still fits the rule, even though there wasn't a rule on that whole kingpin setup that I built. It's just, I think more truly, it's more of a perception than anything else.